Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to take a look at everything in my collection starring Liam Neeson. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at some of the stuff starring Liam Neeson. Starting with Miami Vice. He was in season 3 of Miami Vice. He played a pretty compelling character. Season 3, Miami Vice. So we got the TV show out the way. Let's dive into the movie, shall we? Starting with a movie from Ridley Scott, Kingdom of Heaven. This was a pretty decent movie. It was an enjoyable watch. And this DVD set is chock full of features. That's some of the arguments I have with, people who just totally disregard DVD for Blu-ray and 4K. I get it. They're better. I totally get it. My own collection is more Blu-ray than anything else, but you can't deny some of these older DVD releases was just chock full of features that you don't see on the Blu-ray and definitely not on the 4K. And if you want those kind of features in those particular formats, usually there's a premium involved with that. Usually, and the features aren't as good as the DVD features. Not saying that like the picture quality thing, just the content, the amount of content you got. For example, Dawn of the Dead. The DVD release is just, the bonus disc is just overrun with features. And there's even a short story explaining who Andy was. I think his name was Andy. The guy on the roof across from the mall. It went into the whole story. Fantastic. You don't get that on the Blu-ray. I digress. Schindler's List. This right here was crazy. This was required watching when I was in school. I don't think so much now. Back when I was in school, we had certain movies that was required watching. It was part of a class. Depending on what class it was, a particular movie might be part of that class. So this movie right here, I remember the first time I saw it, I was young. I really didn't understand it, so I watched it as an adult. Actually, I watched it several times, and man, that's tough. That's what those people went through was tough. Like, real rap. The A-Team, I think me personally, I think with this movie, I think the casting was fine. I didn't have a problem with the casting. I just don't think this story was, it's hard to redo something like the A-Team, but they did a good job. Darkman, he was only in the first Darkman. He was not in Darkman 2, The Return of Durant, or Darkman 3, Die Darkman. But again, this whole trilogy was all right. The first one being the best one. The second one was all right. And the third one, it was all right too. I mean, it's not a bad trilogy. It would have been nice if Liam Neeson would have been in all three. But he wasn't. Next up, we have Gangs in New York. I really like this movie. I thought this was a fantastic movie. And it has one of my favorites in here, Daniel Day-Lewis. Non-Stop. This was a pretty decent movie. I like a lot of the Liam Neeson movies. I don't like them all, but I like a lot of them. I got some that I don't really like that much and some that I like more than others. For example, coming up on the Taken trilogy. I loved this movie. The first one, oh man, this one right here was an absolute banger. Taken 2 was all right. Taken 2 was all right. And you know what? Taken 3 was all right. They was just all right. They wasn't nothing special. They wasn't bad movies. They wasn't particularly great movies either. The first one being the best. Then we have Clash of the Titans. This is the remake, which I thought was all right. Again, the movie was just all right to me. And then we have Wrath of the Titans. Again, just all right. Compared to the original Clash of the Titans from the 80s. I mean, they just all right. Then we have Star Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn. A fantastic character, a great performance, and a really good movie. Cold Pursuit. This movie was okay. I don't think Liam Neeson got any movies that is particularly bad. I think most of his movies fall in the category of good and I don't think he have any movies, in my opinion, that I would consider like excellent, like top tier. But he do got movies that I consider good and good watches, like Taken. That's a good movie. It's not a particularly great movie, but it's a good movie. Here's another one that I think is a good Liam Neeson movie. The Marksman. It's a good movie. This movie caught a lot of flack when it came out. I get it, but I still liked it, and I enjoyed it, so I bought it. Battleship. I thought this movie was good, and I think it's a beautiful movie. If you got the right setup, the right TV screen or whatever you watch your movies on, the right audio setup, this is a really enjoyable movie with the sound, the effects, how pretty the movie is, the action scenes. It's a really, really nice movie. And this is a good movie you can watch with guests to showcase the power of your system, because believe me, the sound quality in this movie is fantastic. Run All Night. Again, this is just, it's all right. This one is a really good movie. Batman Begins. He played Ra's al Ghul. I mean, I don't like the spin that they use. I mean, again, the spin worked for the movie, but making Ra's al Ghul like that, I mean, I get it. It worked for the movie, but I still prefer Ra's al Ghul from like the animated universe. He's a different character than what we got in the movie. But again, the Ra's al Ghul we got for the movie was fine. I didn't have an issue with it. I figured they couldn't do Ra's al Ghul from the Lazarus Pit and all that in a live action movie. I mean, they got the technology to do it, but that's not where they was going with this movie. And you know what? I'm kind of glad for this movie they didn't go with the comic version of Ra's al Ghul. It probably wouldn't have worked. So what they did, it worked well for this movie. This movie is an absolute train wreck, and it's not Neeson's fault, but it's just a bad movie. I think it was poorly cast. I think Hemsworth was the right pick, maybe, but I don't even know. I don't even think Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth in this movie. Nah, Men in Black International, great idea. Great idea. Men in Black around the world, it makes sense. Great premise. I just don't think they was right. Now, I like Chris Hemsworth. I think he's a really good actor. Tessa Thompson, she's okay. And I just think both of them was out of their wheelhouse for this movie. And I think if this movie was casted differently, it might have been better. That's my opinion. And no, I'm not saying, well, I'm not going to explain myself, because people who come to my channel and watch my videos know I don't have a problem with females in lead movies. I got a ton of them. I did a whole video on action movies with female leads, and most of them I thought was really good. So we're not going to go there, because every time a man says something about a female cast in the movie, he's this, he's that, and the third. No, she was not casted correctly for this movie. Tessa Thompson has done well in other movies. She just wasn't. She was outside of her wheelhouse in this. And I think Hemsworth, for the top quality actor he is, and he was out of his wheelhouse for this movie too. They should have casted two different people for this movie. And if they wanted to do a male and a female, that's fine. Just not these two. It's a shame that we live in a world where if a man say anything about a female in any way, he's this, that, and the third. That's just the lunacy of the time we live in. Tessa Thompson is an all right actress. She is. She's all right, but she wasn't good in this movie. The Commuter. Liam Neeson in The Commuter. This was actually a pretty solid movie. I enjoyed it. Whoops. So that's everything that I got starring Liam Neeson. Let's go ahead and recap it. The Commuter. I know I don't recap these all the time, but Men in Black International. Again, a solid idea. The idea, I'm quite sure the script, everything with this was awesome. Just the casting wasn't right for this one, in my opinion. Going back to Men in Black, you had extra charismatic Will Smith and like Tommy Lee Jones. They bounced off of each other. Like, they're like, those two together on the screen, just like yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? That worked for Men in Black with Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. The energies that they had just bounced off of each other. It worked well. And with Men in Black International, that energy and chemistry, it wasn't there. Sorry. Batman Begins. I think he did a good job in that as Ra's al Ghul. Again, not very comic book accurate, but it worked well for the movie. Run All Night. This is a pretty slick movie. You got to check this one out. Battleship, again. It's not the greatest story. It's not the greatest movie, but it's a good enough watch where you can sit and watch it straight through without barfing. And again, if you got the right setup, it sounds incredible. If you got 5.1 at least, well, I think that, yeah, at least 5.1, maybe the 7.1 or higher, man, you are in for a treat with this movie. I'm telling you. The Marksman, decent movie. Cold Pursuit. Star Wars, the second one of the new one. I do believe he was in the second one. No, he was in the first one. My bad. Phantom Menace. Yeah, he was in that one. Yep. Yeah, because he got killed at the end. And okay, yeah. Yep. I get those movies confused. There's so many damn Star Wars movies. Wrath of the Titans. Clash of the Titans. You know, if it wasn't for the 1980s, I think it's 84. I'm not sure. I got to look at it. In the 80s, we'll say. If it wasn't for the 80s one, this one would have been damn good. But when you go back to the one from the 80s, even though it's much older than this one, it's just a better movie in my opinion. It really is. Although that's not bad. Taken 3, Taken 2, and Taken. Again, as a trilogy, the Taken trilogy is it's a rock solid trilogy. It is. Again, it's not the best, but it's a solid trilogy. Non-Stop, Gangs of New York, Darkman, and this is a good trilogy. Even though we only had Neeson in the first one, it's a decent enough trilogy. The first one kind of balances out the other two to make the whole trilogy as a whole decent. Just like with Taken. Even though Taken 2 and Taken 3 aren't terrible, they just Taken 1 really balances out, make the trilogy acceptable. The A-Team, I wish we would have got a second one just to see which, if they could have, tightened it up a little bit. Because again, like I said, great casting. It just needed to be tightened up a little bit. Schindler's List, required watching. Kingdom of Heaven. And of course, if you can catch it on streaming, if you're just curious about Liam Neeson in this show, Miami Vice Season 3. I forget the exact episode. I can, probably pin it or something like that. But he was he played a very compelling character in this, I'm telling you. So that's everything I got starring Liam Neeson. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.